and they passionately love that player in a way that actually just feels like it's hate being disguised as love that they want to have against the rest of the league.
You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts.
All right, Black and White Sports supporters. Well, I literally just ended a video earlier talking about, it was a video about agenda. It was agenda against Caitlin Clark. It was the Yukon Mafia trying to hold Caitlin Clark down away from the USA basketball. I don't even know if she's going to make that team at this point. She's got so many different people she's got to get past. The media is already going after Caitlin Clark. All right. Caitlin Clark just got back from an injury. She played 13 games. And we got to point out every flaw she got going on right now. Right off the bat, she going out there just knocking down threes in everybody's faces, by the way. Making Hall of Fame kind of passes. But nah. Oh, but the Paige Beckers. Oh, but the Angel Reese. Oh, but the anybody. Oh, but the Asia Wilson. All the while, the regular sports fan that showed up and said, that woman, that young lady's very intriguing. I was watching her. I caught her playing for this Iowa team. I started watching her. Holy crap. The atmosphere was unbelievable. She's clutch. She looks like the makings of an all-time legend. We are all witness from the very beginning. You know, I was young when Jordan came on the scene. I was 10 years old. You know? And yeah, I can remember all that. I came up through that. But the first couple of years are hazy. We're right here. We're on the ground floor of witnessing greatness. And the people involved with the WNBA, women's sports, these women's sports champions, they don't want regular sports fans involved. And they've used every excuse. We'll call them homophobic. We'll call them racist. We're bound to get them out of here. Guys, I've said this prior. I'll say it again. The fact that I know I am the burr in these people's asses motivates me to keep watching and covering this, to be honest. I mean, that has motivated me as much as anything else. So, another champion of woke BS over the years is one Katie Nolan. Now, if that name sounds kind of familiar, somewhat familiar, it might be because she's been on every sports network in existence. Why? Because whatever she seems to come out with, and good God, I made the mistake of bringing up her Wikipedia page. I was like, how many different shows and podcasts and crap over the years has she had? She's just been active since 2011. Crowd Goes Wild, No Filter, Touchdown and Injury, Garbage Time with Katie Nolan, Garbage Time Podcast with Katie Nolan, Sports Center on Snapchat, Always Late with Katie Nolan. All these different shows. You know why there's so many different shows? It's because they all keep failing. And it's because of these kind of garbage-ass bullshit takes. She currently hosts the Sirius XM podcast Casuals. Now, guys, I like to go for walks. It's kind of my cardio along with my weight training, and I go out. I like to walk outside, and I always listen to different podcasts. Well, a lot of times they will advertise a new podcast. I just heard this one advertise. Casuals with Katie Nolan. Have you ever wondered why blah, 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 don't take sports that seriously, blah, blah, blah? And I'm like, you created a sports podcast hoping that sports fans would listen to a podcast, but you don't want it to be hardcore fans. But, okay. I mean, that sounds destined to crash and burn. But, okay, that's fine. Whatever. I mean, I guess you got to figure out some way, some reason to keep the lights on. Well, guess what? This is Katie Nolan right here. Guess whose podcast she's on? Sue Bird, UConn alum, and Megan Rapinoe. Megan Rapinoe. By the way, Megan Rapinoe is a lesbian that has sold out women everywhere real fast because as soon as she retired, she said, bring all the men into women's sports. Man, you gave up feminism. You sold out women just at record speed. I mean, record speed. You barely got announced your retirement from soccer. And you said, let all the dudes that thinks they're women in the sports, let them all in. Okay. That's what, yeah, put a wig on LeBron. Let him come into the W. That'll be interesting. Katie Nolan, trashing Caitlin Clark fans.
During the WNBA this season, I feel like we sort of had one of those particular growing pains where it's like some of the people that are coming in and watching the sport and are fans of the sport feel like maybe they're there for a weird reason. And now they've found sort of maybe one player to hyper fixate on that they feel stands at odds with what a WNBA player is in their minds. And they passionately love that player in a way that actually just feels like it's hate being disguised as love that they want to have against the rest of the league. And we sort of had this moment where the rest of the fans had to go like, you paid the same money for your ticket and you being here is also helpful to the sport. And that's a really difficult thing to do. They had no sort of reverence for the fact that like, buddy, this conversation's been going on without you for years and years and years. And now you come in here and just think that you can, because you love this one player and this one player is very good. She's very, very good. And like, I would love to just openly love them. Those are the types of moments that as a women's sports fan, I like really bristle against, where I'm just like, I hate that we have to go through this, but we do have to go through this. This is the growth period.
Okay. So let's clear this up. Blatantly just called Caitlin Clark fans hateful. Blatantly. I mean, didn't even try to hide it. I hate that we got to go through this. In other words, you hate that regular sports fans showed up. Because regular sports fans, we're going to call out the BS. We can see it. Not only that, but we've been through it with other sports. NBA, my God, they torpedoed themselves in 2020. The NFL tried to. I mean, it's unbelievable. We come into a sport, we're following this person. I mean, you can act like the WNBA's got a ton of fans. Well, point of fact, the ratings reflected it did not have a ton of fans. That's factually incorrect. There were not a ton of WNBA fans after 26 years. And guess what? 3 times the amount of fans showed up. And we got into the league and we was like, this is some BS. And guess what? Sports fans, pretty vocal. Can get pretty vocal. Well, wait a minute. I can blatantly see other players in this league are jealous, petty, treating this new player badly, poorly on the court. Visually going after her. We're watching that. We're supposed to just stay quiet. Can't say nothing. Sue Bird over there cackling. Megan Rapinoe. Agenda. How many boxes those two check? You're going to run out of boxes. But guess what? They check the appropriate boxes that the old WNBA fan base loves. Well, their fandom, them rooting for a person feels more like hate. To who? Only lunatics believe people rooting for a sports star is hate. Somehow you've twisted that into hate in your mind. Unbelievable. Guys, it's 12/16/2025. The season is 5 months away. Square one. I hope Caitlin Clark can make it through the season. But I got a bad feeling about it. I do. Especially after the CBA is signed. Because guess what? All the players got what they wanted. They got what they needed from her. Well, they're locked in now. They're going to pay us that TV revenue money, whether she's on the court or whether she's not. Except they don't understand that's not how it works, because advertisers will come calling if the ratings plummet. Tell me what you think. Unbelievable. Off to a great stop. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.